an extraordinary value that has captured the imagination of collectors around the world. Some examples of this coin have been linked to astonishing values reaching as high as $926,000, a jaw-dropping difference from its tiny face value. Let's explore how that can even be possible and why this particular year has become so legendary. The year 1965 stands as one of the most important turning points in American coinage history. It was the moment when the United States officially transitioned away from using silver in circulating coins and moved toward copper-nickel-clad compositions. For decades before 1965, quarter dollars were struck with 90% silver, giving them intrinsic metal value as well as numismatic appeal. Rising silver prices and hoarding pressures forced the government to make a dramatic change, and 1965 became the first year quarters were officially produced without silver. This alone already makes the 1965 quarter historically significant, because it marks the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. However, major transitions in minting history often come with chaos, confusion, and mistakes, and 1965 was no exception. The U.S. Mint was under immense pressure to produce huge quantities of new clad coins quickly. Americans were hoarding silver coins, circulation shortages were severe, and demand for everyday change was overwhelming. In this rush, mistakes happened, dies were reused, experimental planchets were tested, and unusual combinations slipped through. These unusual circumstances laid the foundation for some of the most valuable errors and rarities associated with the Liberty quarter dollar dated 1965. One of the biggest sources of fascination around the 1965 Liberty quarter comes from the possibility of silver planchet errors. Officially, all quarters dated 1965 were supposed to be struck on copper-nickel-clad planchets with a pure copper core. But during the transition period, leftover silver planchets from 1964 were still present in mint facilities. In rare instances, these silver blanks are believed to have accidentally been struck with 1965 dies. When this happens, the result is a 1965 quarter made of 90% silver, something that should not exist according to official records. These coins are instantly recognizable to experienced collectors by their weight, sound, and edge color, and confirmed examples are among the most sought-after transitional errors in American numismatics. A genuine 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet is not just rare, it is legendary. Only a small number of verified examples are known, and each one commands an enormous premium. When such a coin appears at auction, bidding can escalate quickly as collectors, investors, and museums compete for ownership. Depending on condition, certification, and provenance, prices can soar into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is one of the key reasons the 1965